251 articles in English, 481 in Spanish, 192 in French. AI News Social gathered 6,038 articles this week from 18 countries. After evaluation, we kept 1,926. This is what higher education is saying about artificial intelligence. And already, in our very first week, a pattern emerges that the ancient Greeks would recognize. They called it pharmakon, a substance that is simultaneously remedy and poison. The same AI tools being celebrated as the future of learning are being condemned as its destruction. Both claims. Same technology, same week. The Semantic Space visualization reveals exactly where these contradictions cluster, and more importantly, where they don't. 985 articles in our education category alone. Nearly half of everything AI News Social collected this week. And here's what's striking. The same institutions publishing guidance on integrating AI into curriculum are simultaneously publishing warnings about its threat to academic integrity. Not different institutions, the same ones. The contradiction map shows these tensions aren't resolved. They're simply held in suspension. Universities are building policy on paradox. And buried in this data is something Alvin Toffler warned us about decades ago. Institutions are being asked to manage futures they haven't yet imagined. The question isn't whether AI belongs in higher education. It's whether higher education can hold two truths at once. 376 articles on social aspects, 368 on AI literacy, and threading through both, a governance gap that spans every category AI News Social analyzed. Institutional frameworks are chasing technological adoption and losing. Students are already using tools their professors haven't evaluated. For assignments their institutions haven't updated, under policies that reference yesterday's capabilities. The thematic network visualization shows how these threads connect. Literacy initiatives that assume stable ground. Governance frameworks that assume time to deliberate. But here's the silence that caught our attention. Who is asking students what they actually need? The power dynamics section reveals whose voices dominate this conversation and whose are notably absent. 197 articles specifically on AI tools. But the pattern that emerges across all Homelines 926 articles is this. AI doesn't create new inequalities. It amplifies existing ones. Students without reliable internet access. Faculty without training time. Institutions without implementation budgets. The technology arrives equally. The capacity to use it does not. The perspective. Clustering visualization shows how discussion of AI tools fractures along familiar fault lines. Resource-rich institutions seeing opportunity. Resource-constrained institutions seeing another unfunded mandate. Marshall McLuhan told us decades ago that every extension of human capability is simultaneously an amputation of something else. What higher education is extending with AI, and what it's amputating, may not become clear until the cut is already made. Across 3 languages and 18 countries, certain voices dominate and others disappear. AI News Social found extensive discussion of what institutions should do, what faculty should learn, what policies should say. But the students themselves? The ones whose education is ostensibly being transformed. Their direct perspectives remain remarkably sparse. And there's another silence. Critical voices, those questioning not just how to implement AI but whether certain implementations serve education at all, cluster at the edges of the semantic space, isolated from mainstream discourse. This isn't conspiracy, it's selection bias made visible. The category flow visualization shows how certain framings move through the conversation while others remain stuck at the periphery. This is week 1. AI News Social will be here every week, tracking how these patterns evolve, which silences get filled, which contradictions resolve or deepen. The pharmakon paradox, the governance gap, the amplification effect. These are our baseline observations, and we'll be watching to see what higher education does with them. Every visualization, every data point, every thinker perspective referenced today is available to explore on the AI News Social platform. The conversation about AI in higher education is happening in 18 countries and 3 languages. Now you know what it's saying. More importantly, you know what it isn't.